Right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday Truths. We're glad that you're here. I'm Robert Roseberry, pastor at First United Methodist Church in Dade City, Florida. This is just a little check-in with me, let you know some things going on at First UMC here in Dade City, as well as maybe some talk about the sermon and everything, some things that we're going through as a church family, so that you can stay updated on what we've got going on. First, some housekeeping. If you have a chance, or go ahead and right now and take a little bit of time, like this video, subscribe to our channel. We would love to get the algorithm to like us a little bit more. So this offers you a way to register your participation in this video and to say hello. So we hope that you'll do that during the video. So a few things I wanted to let you know about. This has been kind of a fast developing situation with hurricane relief, and I've got some good news. So I wanted to share it. Last week, and you might have heard this if you came to church on Sunday, last week on, what was it? Gosh, Wednesday, we received 200 United Methodist Committee on Relief cleaning kits. We used to call these flood buckets. They changed the name a few years back, but a lot of people still call them flood buckets. And these are basically, they're held in a 5-gallon bucket that you'd get from any hardware store. And they contain mucking out supplies, so disinfectant, garbage bags, no boots, but you'll probably want to have those, and just a few other things that give you some supplies. And so these are kind of built by churches, United Methodist churches across the connection. And when there is some sort of disaster and a lot of people need cleaning supplies, they give them these kits, and they go to help people clean out their homes and maybe defray some of that cost that they would spend in all the cleaning that they'll have to do. And so, as you've probably already heard, we have a lot of folks up north of us in Ridge Manor and south of us in Zephyr Hills who have a lot of flooding going on. And Dade City seemed to have gotten more damage from trees that went down, and Zephyr Hills and Ridge Manor seem to have got a lot of the flooding. So this is just a little kit that we got 200 of them from Seminole, just down the road from us a little bit. I think Oakhurst United Methodist Church had them. So they brought them up to us since they didn't need them anymore. And I've been distributing them and making announcements so folks know to take them. And out of the 200, we only have 37 left, which is really, really good. You know, they don't do any good to anybody at church sitting in the building. They do good out there, distributed to people who need them. So brought some over to the Ridge Manor Community Center both Sunday and yesterday. They were super glad to have them. They had a great time just helping unload them. I mean, they're moving fast. There's a lot of people coming in and out of there, so it's not like we sat on the front porch and talked and sipped lemonade. We were moving pretty fast, but really had a great time, and so good to be able to do some good and distribute these to people who need them. And took a truck and a trailer load yesterday, took a truckload yesterday, and learning how many I can fit in my truck. So it's always a disappointing amount because you can't take all of them, but I'm hoping to distribute the last of them this week. We've got those 37 left. There are some folks around Dade City who need them, so that's where they'll probably go. And just really good to do that and to help out folks who need them. We do have a church member who lives in Ridge Manor who had a lot of flooding. They had about 2 or 3 feet of water in their house, and it was heartbreaking to see that. And I could tell, that she was pretty heartbroken too, just looking at that. You think about your house and all of that stuff just flows in, and it's not clean water, by the way, in case you don't live in Florida and you don't deal with this kind of flooding. It's not clean water, and especially not in Florida. And so, there's just a lot going on, and that water is slowly receding. Hopefully will stay receded, and there's just a lot of folks who need it. So keep praying for these folks. And if you can assemble a flood bucket at home, go to United Methodist Committee on Relief. Just put that term or put those words in the Google search. It'll send you to their website. They have lots of different cleaning kits and hygiene kits, a lot of different disaster supplies that you can make either at home. We've already made these cleaning kits before. We had a lot of fun making those, and now other churches have made them and they've come to us. So it's kind of a good circle for that. And my trip to Ridge Manor, just going to that community center, man, it is really something. They've got things set up. They have laundromat trucks. They've got all these kind of things, and I mean, there are still people canoeing around the neighborhood. It hasn't rained much in the past, month since Hurricane Milton, and they're still just experiencing all this flooding. So it is so sad. Pray for those folks there and around us who are dealing with this flooding. Pray and do what you can to help. That is a slow running disaster that is going on. Also, want to let you know about Advent and Christmas decorating. I know it feels like it's the beginning of November. No, it's actually almost halfway through. So, our Advent and Christmas decorating is going to happen right after our traditional worship service on the 24th of November, and then we'll finish up on the 30th. So that's going to be Saturday. We'll meet here in the morning. We're going to have lunch for that too. We'll also have lunch for folks after the service on the 24th. So all of these have meals with them. All these announcements that I'm going to announce have meals. So after church on the 24th, we're going to do some decorating and try to get as much done as we can on the 24th. And then on the 30th, we're also going to do that again and meet here at the church at 9 o'clock. Both of those events will have lunch. One at the beginning, of course, after the 11 o'clock service, and then lunch at the end for those who help on the 30th. And then the next day, we're going to be eating a lot here at church. The next day, December 1st, we have a congregational financial update. What we're doing is, the church has, we've come through a lot. We've had a lot of things hit us. Just, I mean, really, when you look at it in the past 10 years, let's just say that big area. We have people are giving less and less generally to the church. Some of that is tax policies. Some of that is COVID, because our tax policy doesn't incentivize it as much anymore as it did 10 years ago. And all nonprofits are suffering from that a little bit from people who, that kind of helps them give a little bit extra. And also there is just decline in churches in general, where less people are going to church. They're also the people who go are going less frequently. So 50 years ago, people went to church every single Sunday. That was called regular church attendance. And now regular church attendance is much, much less than that. It's, once or twice a month. I forget the exact number. It may be 1.7 times a month or something. So attendance declines. People who normally when they're there go, oh, I've got to give, they don't do that as much anymore. So that all declines. Also, we've had COVID where that really accelerated those declines in worship attendance. And then we've had all the United Methodist Church drama that we've been through. And so all in all, there's been a decline in that. And so, we can sit here and talk about it as church leaders and figure out what to do, but we also, being transparent and everything, we want to let you know kind of where the church is, so that you can kind of understand how things are going. And we want you to know. We want to be transparent in what we're doing and the information we're providing to you. And also, we want to make sure that your gifts are going to help things and going to do certain things. And that's just part of it. So this is kind of a state of the church report, and we will ask you to RSVP. Lunch will be provided. So that's part of why we need the RSVP, so we know how much lunch to prepare. And we are going to ask that you RSVP, before Thanksgiving, so we can prepare all these things. There was a letter that went out for everyone's giving statements. So that was, that was in that giving statement. Go ahead and read that. That contains all the information that you need. But it's just a report on things, where we are, where we'd like to be next year, and how you can help that out. So that's about it. So this kind of update that we've got this week, this Tuesday Truth that we have, this whole week this whole month really has been looking at Paul's letter to the Ephesians, looking at how he is expressing his thankfulness to the church in Ephesus, and also why they should be thankful for who they are in Christ. And so I'd encourage you, if you can, to just go ahead and read the whole letter. We've been talking about it each Sunday. I've been taking snippets. We're going to preach on it again. I'm going to preach on it again on Sunday. But this is a great way to take little snippets and look at take a look at what Paul is saying through Ephesians. Ephesians is a beautiful a beautiful letter that Paul wrote. It's a great way to look at the life within a community, in a Christian community, because I've heard Ephesians kind of called the community letter before. Paul is giving advice to the Ephesians on how to be together, how to live together, how to do church together. And so it's really a fascinating letter, like all of them are, but especially Ephesians has some really beautiful passages on not just who we are as Christians, but whose we are. And so I'd encourage you to read it as we're going through, and we'll take those snippets each and every Sunday. So this next Sunday is yet another sermon about thankfulness through the lens of Ephesians. So I encourage you to come. Our services are 9 o'clock. Our contemporary service is in our Christian Life Center, our CLC, and then we have an 11 o'clock traditional service as well. So I encourage you to come. You're always welcome to any of our services or events, and I will see you Sunday, if not before. May God bless you and keep you, make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen.